All right. This is today's mathematics. Welcome to your weekly roundup. I'm your host, Billy Yenz. Today we're joined by our illustrious correspondent, BluebenjiFrenzi.
W's in the chat. W's in the chat, man. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. All right. So if you tuned into our price discovery, we talked about PayPal. Take a look at PayPal, right? Let's move on to daily chart just so we can count backwards to Monday, right? So this was Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday. Monday gave you that doji, but then we got that strong push to the downside, right? And as you can see here, I also added the 20 indicator. This is this brown line, this Dookie brown line. Um, so yeah. So if you jumped into puts here, definitely were activated, came and touched close to 65, which is great, right? You could have got that 66 put. But looks like price is still pushing to the downside. We got the strong push to the upside on this green candle, but not really a strong engulfing candle. It's really an inside candle. And then as you can see on the Friday candle, we got the push up and it got rejected. So it's still moving downwards. But definitely could see this continuing to come and touch the support line to the downside at this 64.9, which is 65 even. And then again, we're still below all of these MAs. So all we can see is probably more bearish consolidation to the downside. Blue Benji, what do you see here?
Good play, man. I didn't play. I didn't end up playing PayPal this week or last week. But I know we had some people in the chat who definitely hit on this, caught this whole momentum down. So I definitely see agree with what you said about the push down, the bearish momentum on this one.
Yeah. Let's take a look at some of the other things that happened during this week, which is Oracle, right? Oracle jumped uh 50% or something like that.
Yeah.
This may be an opportunity to chase this to the downside, bearish momentum. This gap is not sustainable, right? This was on what, Wednesday. So Wednesday it gapped up after earnings, after they started showing some more of the money that they're getting from building all those AI data centers. So this definitely, again, it's not sustainable. This is we got bless you. We got two red candles after that. So bless you. I could definitely see us coming back down to this 255, maybe 260 before, building out some more strong structure to back to the upside, right?
Yeah, I like that gap fill.
Yeah, got filled to the downside for sure. And honestly, this is the highest high it's ever been. So again, price is definitely gonna want to come and rediscover this 340, 350 zone, but it's not sustainable. This needs to hold. What do you see here?
Yeah, fill that gap. We might retrace a bit. Overall, yeah, that's a major push up. What is that? Almost like 20%.
Yeah, bro. It went from 230 to essentially 330.
Yeah,
So
that's looking crazy.
yeah, that's insane.
Use my language.
No,
That's ridiculous, man.
good.
So
It's YouTube, bro.
he said, "Yeah, we streaming live stream, B." But nah, these Oracle play was ridiculous. If you caught this up, you had to know something though. Like I feel
I
like,
mean, it was earnings, so that's the thing. We always advise you, play earnings at your own risk. I've always got burned on earnings due to applied and volatility, so I wouldn't have played earnings here. But post earnings, what we could see is definitely this gap being filled to the downside. Let's pull up the fib retracement tool. Let's take a look here, right? And so the fib retracement tool, the way you use it is you go from the lowest point, the most recent lowest point to the most recent highest point, and then use these what are these? What would you call these support zones?
yeah,
Fibonacci support zones. The ones you need to take into consideration are the 382, the 618. Those are going to be the most important ones because you'll typically see either a bounce from those lines, and if we get a strong push through those lines, then we're going to get the continuation to the following zone. So as you can see here, price came, touched this 345, and then pushed down to past that 382 zone. So we could definitely expect this to come down from this 295 to 280 and likely to this 265. And again, this is the daily chart. So this could probably all happen within the course of next week to And again, so when we take a look to the left, we can see that the top of this structure was closer to 258. So we could probably see the bounce on this 218 or this 618 zone at 265, maybe probably get like a couple wicks. And then from there, I could see us probably building a little bit more stronger structure at this higher level. Oracle is a play that definitely earlier in the year gave some positivity in terms of all the deals that they were making with, Larry Ellison, Donald Trump, all of those things. That's why it's very important to understand what's going on in the news, especially if you're holding shares, right? Because you can't ever time the market, but what you can see is what's actually going on. Don't forget, even though we're doing technical analysis, this is real money happening for real companies. So this is still a great way. Before there was technical analysis, there was fundamental analysis, right? So never take that for granted. Understand what's going on in the market so you can adjust accordingly. Tesla was another absolute ass whooper. From the last 2 days, Tesla went absolutely bonkers.
That's great.
Super strong resistance zone in the past, came, touched, look above and failed to touch this zone in the past, then gave you strong bullish momentum. It did one, two, three, got to the upside, and then cup and handle.
Okay. You feel me? From way back there to the left. It's a big ass cup.
Oh, I didn't even look at it like that.
Oh,
That's why you gotta sometimes do this.
uh,
See, even there, it's kind of hard to see that as a cup and handle.
like an inverse one. You just gotta be looking for it. But I feel you.
Yeah, I would say instead of cup and handle, I would just say like this has been bullish since here.
Inverse
Very strong channel, and then it's actually getting tighter, so it's like a rising wedge consolidation situation. But yeah, and then so even if we were to look a little closer, right? What do we see here? Bouncing off the 20, bouncing off the 50, and just staying above that. So again, all overall super bullish since top of August. And then yeah, we're seeing this go and come try to kiss 400. But hey, what goes up must go down. Tesla's a super volatile stock. My favorite thing to do is play quick put scalps on this. So based on my experience, what I expect this to happen is it's probably gonna come look above this 400 and fail. Elon Musk might probably tweet something, or we'll get. Because honestly, if you look at this, like this is cool, it sounds nice, but when you look at their balance sheet, where are they getting this money from, right? They're paying this man $1 trillion pay package, but they're losing money on sales all over the world. US, Europe, China, declining sales. And they don't have, even though robotaxis is a cool new thing, it's not business wise, they're not making bread off that right now. So this is just a sentimental move. So what goes up will go down.
So nothing caused it. Just
Let's see.
just vibes.
Kept the underweight rating, setting a 120 price target. That's crazy. 9% year over year drop in deliveries in key markets. Could face hurdles in Mexico with proposed 50% tariff. So none of this is good news.
Is this the fake out? Is this the fake out?
This might be the fake out. And so again, that's why even though I do like Tesla as like a potential, innovative company, it's one of the biggest market cap companies. I mean, the only way I feel safe playing Tesla is to the downside. And again, my biggest wins have always been Tesla puts. Tesla puts or like SPY puts, but that's a different story. Uh Benji, what do you see here?
That's a major push up, bro. Yeah, you'll probably end up testing that resistance there.
It's gotta come back down.
4.3.
Yeah.
So you looking good, man. So did you play? We didn't play any of this week.
Nah. I was being a little bit more conservative this week. I wasn't doing too many plays.
But you talked about PayPal. You talked about Amazon.
Yeah, definitely. Let's take a look at some of this other stuff that's been going on. Let's take a look at CVX. I think we were trying to play calls here.
Yeah.
Came, touched. Again, we're on the daily. So Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. We got two dojis and then two strong push ups to the upside. That's crazy.
Still can catch this up probably.
You could
Just got
probably
a higher low.
yeah.
So you gotta make that higher high still.
Yeah, I think I had placed a 165, but the
That daily.
expiration wasn't important.
Yeah, it might take some. I mean, it might happen next week sometime. You gotta look for consolidation above 152.
Mm.
Looking good. But yeah, we got. I think we got
156.
CBX. I don't think I made no bread off that, bro. We might have got burnt on that one.
Nah, I got burned on a lot of things. I'm gonna come
Cause
clean.
something reversed. Was it CBX? I thought it was CBX.
A lot of shit reversed to my account, bro. I'm gonna come clean, but let's take a look at Apple. Apple, what a crazy mover here. Apple had their WWYC week or something like that. Oh no, they released a new iPhone, which was, in my opinion, underwhelming because why are they releasing the iPhones? Nobody cares. That's the truth. Nobody cares. Oh, you guys got new hardware that does pretty much the same thing. It's all fancy, right? It's all pretty, but that's not even what everybody's focused on. Right now, people are focused on AI tech. And with all the experience that Apple has in the market, with all the data that they have on people, they need to be using that data against us. And they're not doing a good job of that. If they want to be conservative about, oh, well, we want to be mindful of people's sensitive information, they're lying. Nobody's being conservative about people's information. Google just got out of a huge settlement with their browser situation, and all they had to do was what? Give up money? No. Give up shares of their company? Split their company up? No. What did they have to do? They had to give the data to other competitors. That was their repentance for being a monopoly in the search engine game.
That's crazy.
So absolutely ridiculous. They need to be doing a better job, but you know what I mean? Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Technically this is an uptrend, but when you look at it from a grand scheme of things, is it really an uptrend? It's technically a downtrend since December of 2024. So that's all I see. I see a downtrend. If we can't get past this 250, I really still continue to have zero faith in Apple. They've got all the infrastructure, but none of the ingenuity.
God, this thing just going off on them, bro. Like, what they do to you, bro?
I mean, it's just some
They
bullshit.
sold your data, bro. You just mad?
I wish they did. That way they'll have at least some money to do some.
You
But
just sold your data, bro. I think you probably can sue them for like you feel me? If you got evidence of that,
probably could.
you probably can get in on the settlement, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe from there, then I got more bread to put on these charts.
Exactly, man. So let's talk about some W's we took on the week. W's in the chat. W's in the chat. You feel me? We started off with Starbucks, man. We caught this whole push down. We caught this whole push down, chat, and that's this is perfect setup here. This is what we teach in mathematics. You understand what I'm saying? Top down analysis. Could see the
And
downtrend.
it still got some more to go.
Could see the downtrend. Zoom. Let's zoom out a little bit, right? Because this is the weekly. Oh, higher low, lower high. We're trying to make a
Lower low.
you feel me? So boom, we came up, we trace. And I guarantee you, if we draw the fib here, it's gonna be a key level. Really gonna break shit down right here. Go from the so if we looking for a downtrend, we go on the fib, high to low. If you go on the uptrend, you go to fib, low to high. Feel me? So when we do that, you see it came right in the 0.5. Reversals on the fib, rejected, nice. Perfect setup. Boom, we got the retracement, giving you all types of indecision right here. Then you got the bearish engulfing candle. This is your signal.
It was really bearish all week.
Then you got a next weekly candle below this one. Oh yeah. Next week you got a wick at the top, closed in, like below from this open on the previous week. All these wicks, we just pushing. So I believe we got in maybe this week or yeah, 2 weeks ago. I've been catching this for about 2 weeks, no cap. So yeah, that's about right. So we caught all the way from about 89 to oh About a $10 move, $6 move, $7 move. So, so we caught this whole move. Starbucks was definitely a good one. I'm trying to think. What else do we talk about this week? Spy. Just look at Spy overall because we always talk about Spy. It's like the market is doing extremely well compared to the sentiment. I feel like maybe it's just my sentiment. But I also am tapped into the community, and I just feel like overall, just for the average American, not even I don't know why in community stuff. Like I feel like just being an adult in America, you kind of feel like we out here, but hey, you put me on eggshells for some reason. It just feel like that, like with everything, like so. I don't know. It's crazy that Spy is like excelling like this, but I'm that skeptical. Even though this chart is great, from a technical analysis standpoint, like we definitely got to push up and everything. Definitely seem like an uptrend on this weekly. You know what I'm saying? We're in uncharted territory though, so you got to be mindful of that, right? So, I call,
Definitely due for a
yeah,
pullback.
yeah. That's what it
And I
feels like.
think everyone's just waiting for the pullback. Truth be told, when things like tariffs, right? Things like the housing data, the jobs data, that's all actually not good information that's been coming out in terms of the health of the economy. But when we think about these things, when we think about stipends, when we think about, okay, cool, like they're getting tariffs, they're doing this, that, and the third, but they're still printing money, right? So this money has to go somewhere. This money, like if people have extra money in their pocket and it's bad times, what are they doing with it? They're saving. Or they're trying to anyways. So where are they saving that? It's likely in a savings account, which is probably the worst place you could put it, or maybe they're investing it, which is essentially someone who doesn't know too much about investing. They'll likely do an ETF like SPY, QQQ, VTO, VTI, VOO, and
Bro,
that's what we're looking at. So when we're
those are
seeing
good options
people,
though.
so
Those are good options for people though.
no, for sure. They're good options, and that's where they're putting their money. So when we see these ETFs going higher and higher, this is good, right? Because if you're holding that, then that means wherever you're at, the new money that's coming in is raising you up. But what is this telling you about what people are doing? How are people using this money? Right? How are people using money that they're having? They're not spending it, right? So it's not recirculating in the environment. It's just going, into a savings account or whatever the case is. So that's probably why we're seeing higher highs in the market, even though things aren't necessarily looking up, quote
So
unquote.
you're saying companies not spending the money in a way that's
Companies or even just like the overall sentiment, retail investors, they're saving the money. They're not act like the money's not being put towards like high risk trades, or it's
yeah.
not being put towards investments or like business opportunities. They're trying to save because of the uncertainty that they're having. So that's what I'm seeing, right? And so eventually at some point, yeah, we're gonna get that pullback. Like we have to. Because, the market is pricing in. Let's say we do get those rate cuts on the 17th, which is likely gonna happen, right? Everyone's already pricing in the rate cut. We don't know if it's gonna be 50 points, we don't know if it's gonna be 25, but a rate cut is essentially guaranteed for the 17th. But what does this mean, right? This is trying to give people the opportunity to do just that, right? What we talked about, which is make investments, invest into businesses, do more high risk things that are going to be more innovative, and that's going to take bread. So if there's going to be an opportunity to take loans or whatever the case is, where's this bread coming from? It's going to come from folks' savings. So, you know, we just saw price on SPY go from 580 something in April to now damn near 680, right? And it's only been like eight months or whatever the case is. You do the math, but when you look at these things, you got to understand what's actually going on in the bigger picture.
It's crazy because I mean, if you look historically, though, SPY always goes up.
It does. It
Like so,
does
that's
because
why.
people are continuing to save no matter what.
But that's why, yeah. Even though you have a valid point, I also feel like Bitcoin is showing us that the market is very risk on right now. Shout out that boy Bad. We got a very risk on market. Like Bitcoin is going crazy, bro.
Yeah.
We already made all time highs this year. looking to push that again, like ready uptrend.
Continuation.
Exactly. So
We getting a cross on the 50s and the 200 right there, or the 50 and the 100. We just bounced off the 200 there on that brown line. And then if we're looking at the Fibonacci retracement, what did it do? We just talked about this. It came pretty much into that 382 zone and bounced up.
yeah. So yeah, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Bitcoin's a it's a definitely asset that we like to own, especially when we teach. With everything that's going on, you know, like we just kind of described about the government, about sentiment in the market, um, something's about to happen. Yeah, you know what I mean? There's nothing to be scared about. You know what I'm saying? It's more so you need to be prepared. So Bitcoin is a good asset to store right now, because it's definitely gonna have its worth in the future. Even though it's been very skeptical from a lot of different sides, but I feel like at this point there's a lot of money in Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Like it's I think we're past the hump of skepticism on Bitcoin. Except the older people. The older crowd is more because they're just, older people tend to be they stick to what they know. They like money they can touch. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I can see how you got your money. Bitcoin is like, yeah, there's no front line use of it right now because it's not. But it's not. That doesn't mean it's not used at all. It just means it's not publicized, right? Like too much. It's not in your face that people are using. But people use Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of time before it gets over that hump of utility.
Yeah. I think everything changed for Bitcoin when like the big investment firms started buying Bitcoin or making it open that they're buying Bitcoin. That's when we pushed from that 40 to 60 range to that 80 to 90 range, and we never looked back.
Yeah.
So again, Bitcoin year over year, right? You do the math, right? It's always been positive. Bitcoin has only had two less than 100% gained years ever. So yeah, I mean, in terms of utility for Bitcoin, they always say Bitcoin is like digital gold, right? And so gold has its own utility, right? As a precious metal, right? You can wear it, if you get it properly stoned or whatever the case is. But for the most part, like you can't go to McDonald's and chip them off a piece of your bracelet and be like, yeah, let me get 30 cheeseburgers. It's not gonna happen. And so that's the thing about utility. Like people need to be able to accept it, right? But the truth is, like let's say you have gold, or let's say you have a savings account with that doesn't have like a debit card attached. What do you have to do? You got to move that money. You have to move that money from your savings to your checkings, and then you can spend it. Same situation with Bitcoin in terms of utility, right? If you got the Bitcoin and you're holding it and you want to spend some of it, which you should never be spending your Bitcoin. But if you want to spend your Bitcoin for whatever reason, you got to move it from your metaphorical savings, which is wherever you're storing your Bitcoin, to wherever you can spend it. So whether that's your Coinbase, right? Whether it's your moving it to your Cash App, moving it back into your checking account, that's the utility right there, right? So in terms of
Bitcoin,
utility, yeah.
I mean, even going above that, like recently, the most recent use of Bitcoin that I've heard is that you can leverage Bitcoin now as an actual asset, like as far as like maybe trying to use it as part of your equity or part of your
Mm-hmm.
net worth or trying to leverage it to the banks to get a loan. Like where I got, what I'm saying, one Bitcoin maybe worth that, you know, 50,000 because of where you bought it. It all depends, right? How
Mm-hmm.
much, what I'm saying, how much Bitcoin do you truly own? But you can actually leverage that and then get a loan. You feel me? And they probably it's like credit. It's digital credit. Niggas just give you credit from Bitcoin.
Yeah. And even with all your other crypto assets too, like depending on where you're holding it, like they will give you, they will take that as like, hey, like clearly you've got $150,000 in XRP. You can get $150,000 loan, and that way your XRP is still growing, but you're paying back that $150,000, right? That's how you borrow against your assets. That's what people do with, their 401ks, their annuities, et cetera, et cetera. So it's becoming more and more commonly used, but it's still a process, right? It's still a process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, remember,
Any final charts you want to look at?
oh yeah, just celebrate the last one of the day that we had was Chewy. We called out Chewy on Sunday, and I'm sorry, we're on the monthly here. Let's get on the weekly. This week we had to push down, but believe we were in since 2 weeks ago. So I think we caught a little push up, but now yeah, this actually looks like it's flipped. I'm not gonna lie.
And the shoulders.
Or just because you broke this low on this uptrend, it's still technically a higher low though.
Yeah.
So I don't know about that one actually. What else was we in? Walmart.
Nvidia's been doing nothing.
Nvidia's back in play now. We could talk about Nvidia too. We could talk about. Well, actually, let's finish this Walmart really quick though. Because Walmart, I know you were playing for the longest. I told you Walmart hurt my heart. I had to stop playing it, but it finally pushed through. It finally pushed through.
And we're on the shoulders there. You can keep going.
hmm So we're definitely gonna touch the top of the zone. So we caught it from. I know we both played 102 calls for next Friday. Um, so yeah, our contract is in the money. Got in the money when technically
Today.
Thursday, technically, but we got another push up today. So it took profit today. I think this one was maybe like 90%, 80% of the contract. So yeah, man, W's in the chat, man. We appreciate y'all tapping in. Make sure y'all look out for next week. I think we went what about from the plays we put earlier on Sunday. I think we might have went like 3 for 4 or like maybe like 75%. So this is just free game. You know what I'm saying? If you want to really tap in, definitely tap in and check in the comments.
Yeah, leave a like, comment. If you followed any of these trades, if you got into these trades, or if you want to see us break down a specific chart that you traded, right, or that you're looking at, right, comment it in the chat. We can do that for you.
Break it down live.
Yeah. That's gonna be it for your weekly roundup. Tune in on Sunday when we drop our price discovery. We'll teach you where to get into the market, what to look out for, and what to be wary of. I'm your host, Billy Yenz. This is today's Mathematics.